Hello, 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 dreamers. Perla here. As always, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. So let's go ahead and let's take a deeper look into these love cards. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with the soulmate card, which was the first one that we picked in the quick message. So again, some of you may be in a soulmate relationship, whether this is romantic or platonic. We are going to look more into the romance aspect of it, okay? So let's go ahead. Can you clarify the soulmate card when it comes to the collective for those that chose the soulmate card? Oh, I don't like that, but let's go ahead and let's see. We have the King of Wands. What else do we have, Spirit? Okay. We have the Five of Coins. We have another card flying out here, the Nine of Coins in the reverse. Let's paint a picture here. What is going on in this connection? Queen of Swords. The Eight of Coins and one more card. Spirit, and one more card. And we have the Six of Wands. So there's definitely, within the soulmate connection, some of you are are at the point where you're realizing that, or either you or the other person, regardless of who it is, there is finally an understanding of what it really takes to be in a relationship. I'm not going to say here that this is a relationship, quote unquote, that is toxic, but this is a relationship that has been tested through the waters. And what I mean by that, I'm not picking up. So if you were in a relationship, or if you're with somebody that has cheated on you, etc., has put you in a third party situation, this reading is not for you. This reading is for those whose your relationship has been tested in different ways, not through infidelity, right? We're talking about here financial issues, or somebody being sick and somebody sticking through, or somebody showing up while somebody else was battling something, whether you were battling a physical illness or like a mental illness. It's kind of like that type of energy, or somebody sticking around for someone, or holding it down when somebody was battling like an addiction or something of that matter. Now, I am not here to tell you what to deal with and what not to deal with. I'm just telling you the energy that I'm picking up. But there is this source of energy that somebody within this connection may have been a little bit more withdrawn in the past, may have had a difficult time like speaking up or really expressing their feelings or their emotions. And now it's almost kind of like this person has had an awakening into that space, that they need to start communicating better, that they need to start being able to really speak from the heart, and not so much like tiptoeing. And when I say tiptoeing, it is not necessarily that you are intimidating them or that you're making them feel any type of way. This may just stem from their childhood. This may stem from things, from situations that they grew up in, that they weren't allowed to use their voice. So this relationship has definitely had its challenges, but I feel that the way that these cards are showing up at this moment, this relationship is evolving. The both of you are growing, but so is the relationship, so is the connection. So I really do love this energy. And for those of you that, you guys are definitely realizing, or you are seeing the changes in your partner. And I really like this because, again, it was there was a difficult time there where some of you may have been questioning whether or not to stick to something, whether or not to stay in a relationship, whether or not to wait for this person, in the sense of like, them growing or evolving within themselves, right? Because again, these challenges more of like, either, maybe your significant other had a problem with like gambling, right? So that brought in like financial issues, or they were addicted to, whatever, like gambling or whatever. Because this is kind of like what I feel is like, somebody got into a program, and within this program or whatever, they were able to to learn and to recognize the ways that they were not communicating with you, the way that they were not showing up for you in a very specific way when it came to this relationship, right? So this person could have been there, like emotionally, like showing up, like whenever you needed to vent or whatever. This person was showing up in other ways, but there was one particular space that they weren't showing up, and it was because of something that they were dealing with internally. Okay, so I do like that energy. Okay. For those of you that chose the second card, calling in your soulmate, again, be very specific that you're calling in a romantic soulmate, because soulmates can be platonic as well. So you're looking for somebody that you are in alignment with. You're calling in somebody that is in alignment with the frequency, with the energy that you are currently in. And let's go ahead and let's see. So we have the Queen of Wands, we have the Death in the reverse. There are going, as I'm saying that, we have the King of Swords in the reverse. I do feel that the Ten of Swords in the upright, hold on, guys, the Four of Cups in the reverse, and then we have the Fool in the reverse. I do feel that as you're calling in this energy, there are going to be what I like to call, quote unquote, like certain temptations, right? Um, that are going to come, like approach you, or that are going to be flirting with you and things like that. And as these individuals approach you, do not take it as if you're not in alignment with what you're asking for, but take it more as a playful type of energy, right? So like, if you know that you're looking for a serious commitment, you know that you're looking for something serious, you're looking for something long term or whatever, and the people that are approaching you romantically are just looking for fun, looking to f, looking to just be friends with benefits or whatever, be flattered, I guess, but you don't have to engage with it, right? So whenever we say that we're ready for something, that we're done with the old or whatever, sometimes that old energy, and I love to say this, likes to make one last circle around, right? Like one last round to see if you're really done with this, or if you're really going to entertain this energy. So right off the bat, if anybody's coming in with that space of like just wanting to be like an F buddy, or wanting to just like mess around and things like that, you have to be very direct, and you have to be very clear that that is not what you're looking for, and do not entertain it past that. So you don't have to go into like a deep explanation of it, nor do you have to try to convince this person that this is what you're looking for, right? If they express what it is that what they're looking for, and it doesn't align with what you are looking for, you say thank you, not interested, and keep it moving. And if this person insists again, you said what you said and you move on, right? Because again, I do pick up this energy that someone is coming towards you, but there is this kind of like deceptive energy that's coming in first, like, and I know that when we say deceptive, it's kind of like, oh, but it to me, I take it more as like a playful energy, right? And just just take it as is, and kind of like just let it go, like release it, like don't get too hooked on like, well, why is it that only these type of people are approaching me? Well, these type of people are approaching you because that was the frequency that you were in, that is the frequency that you are currently coming out of, right? And it was a frequency that you were in alignment with for a very long time. And sometimes our physical body, like our and excuse me, and our energetic field, have a very difficult time sometimes releasing something that we're so accustomed to. So whenever somebody that is not in alignment with what it is that you're asking for, that what it is that you're trying to get an alignment with, comes towards you, there's nothing wrong with you saying no thank you and keep it moving, right? Because there is somebody within that mix that is going to show up asking for what it is that you're asking for, asking for what it is that you're looking for. So do not get discouraged, right? And sometimes people, I say it like from a personal experience, like sometimes spirit has to send you people just to flirt with you, because sometimes when you've been single for so long, you forget when people are flirting with you. So that may be the case here. Like, maybe letting your shields down or your walls down when it comes to being approachable, if that makes sense. For those of you that chose the third card, give your relationship a chance. Here it is, guys. I know the glare is horrible on these cards. I had the non-shiny one, and I'm assuming they must have gotten wet or they must have gotten destroyed in some way that I ended up getting these. Um, and I get a little annoyed sometimes because of how shiny they are, and it messes up whenever you have the camera on it. All right, so for those of you that are being asked to to give your relationship a chance, there is the King of Swords, the Four, and the Four of Cups. You guys are gonna have to get past some misunderstanding or some miscommunication. I am picking up a third party interfering energy. Does not necessarily have to be infidelity. This can be somebody allowing a family member to have an opinion or have a say in how a relationship goes or how a relationship unfolds, the stages of a relationship or something of that matter. This can be like a child that you or your significant other have with somebody else that you guys do not have together, right? Like, let's say this is your second marriage or something of that matter. So there is definitely an interference here of a third party energy, and this is something that the both of you are going to have to, you guys are going to have sit down and have the conversation that you guys should have had at the beginning of this relationship, at the beginning, prior to moving in, prior to to solidifying a type of commitment. Because again, there is this energy here where somebody, it's almost kind of like you feel like the third wheel in your own relationship, right? Whether this is because of a child, because of a parent, because of a sibling, because of somebody that has or knows somewhere where they shouldn't. um this may be that your significant other has a child, like I said, with somebody else, and whenever this child is around, there is no like affection towards you. Like, this child may be jealous of the relationship that their parent, right, father or mother, have with you. And this is a tricky dynamic because they're definitely like, you and your partner should set boundaries within your relationship when it comes to how to manage and how to deal with these energies, right, with these individuals that are outside of the intimate relationship between you and your between you and your partner. um so all I can really say is like, having the conversation is what's really going to help you. Sitting down and wishing for something to change on its own is not going to do anything. The only thing that is going to do is cause more stress, is cause more drama between the two of you, because nobody is like, there has to be a guideline, let's put it this way, as to what is allowed and what's not allowed in a relationship. And be what I am picking up here is this energy where the lines are so blurred that it's kind of like anything goes, right? um do I want to share that? Okay, I will share it. I was in a relationship once, years ago, where my significant other's mother would show up like in the middle of the night, like looking for him. And and it should have been like a huge red flag the first time that it happened, but it wasn't. I was very, very young. And and I, like, now I look at it and I look at the dynamic of that relationship, and the third party interference, even though later on came in the form of infidelity, it didn't start that way. It started with close family members. It started with a parent. It started with a sibling. It started, and then it evolved into that. So what I'm trying to say here is like, sometimes when you have to be aware that when someone you're in a relationship with allows a third party interference, like with a sibling or with a parent or whatever, they're opening up that door for more interference. They're opening up that door because the energy is the energy regardless of how it shows up, right? For some people, again, it shows up in the form of an in-law. For some people, of a, like, an infidelity, like somebody, you know, that they cheated on you with or whatever. It could show up as work, right? Somebody that's overworking or whatever it is. The energy is the energy in itself, regardless of how it's packaged. So certain things need to be addressed if you are going to give this relationship a chance and are going to continue on moving forward with it. Alrighty, guys, that is all that I have.